No, to Emmi Roselle Music. How are you today?
Hi Ruben, thanks for having me on again. I'm excited to be chatting to you about my EP today.
Yes, finally to chat to you again. So, can you tell me, what's it like to, or being a duo that Brocken Spirit that you was part of?
Yeah, so last year I had the privilege of being a part of a duet, Brocken Spirit. That was myself and Rain, and you interviewed us this time last year when we released our first EP. It was really good. I enjoyed collaborating with another musician. And some nice things came out of that. But unfortunately, my duet partner didn't come back to university this year. So um, at the moment, we're still leaving things open. So hopefully, we'll get back together, Rain and I, and do more things as Brocken Spirit. But for the time being, I'm just working on solo stuff, really.
So, what's it like to be a solo artist now on going out on your own as a solo artist?
Mm, what's it like? It's exciting. I'd say it's exciting, but very nerve-wracking. I think in the past, having like other people around me, it's the focus isn't so much on me. So like going out there solo, there's more focus on me as an artist, which again I'm going to say is exciting, but anxiety provoking at the same time.
So, so can you tell me about, more about the EP in general? But can you tell me the track on it called "Chasing a Dream"?
That's right. So this year I collaborated with Jacinta Ogagbon. And we worked together on a few songs. And one of those songs was Chasing a Dream. Originally, it's an acoustic song, acoustic guitar, lovely vocals from Jacinta. Um, and when I was coming up with the EP, I really wanted to make it a project about learning new creative processes. So I wanted to look at remixing and production-led decision making, like writing. So that song went from this really great acoustic, ethereal sort of, yeah, lovely song into I'm like, right, let's remix this for my EP recast. So yeah, that's where that song came from. It originated just as like a little guitar lick and then just centered on her magic with some lyrics. That's a song really about chasing something that you know you're going to reach, but you know that's a long, long way off, but still reaching and reaching and reaching for it. It's a beautiful song.
So, where do you get your inspiration for songwriting in the first place? How did that come about?
A lot of so I say to a lot of people, music is my therapy. So I would say probably I do a lot of my songwriting probably for mental health reasons. You know, just that expression of how you're feeling, and I find it quite yeah, good for the soul. Not all of that turns into music, but a fair bit of it does. So that's really where my inspiration comes from. I guess my musical inspiration are like old rock bands like Fleetwood Mac and Pink Floyd and things like that. I've got quite an eclectic taste, but I'm not even sure how they feed into my music. They're there, definitely there, but I wouldn't say it's a conscious thing, for what comes out.
So,
Um,
so what comes out? So, can you tell me more about Mountain Girl?
So Mountain Girl again. So for this EP that I'm releasing, Recast, it's about taking songs that are already existing in my world, so things that I've already written. Again, so Mountain Girl started off as an acoustic number. That was myself and Rain, Brocken Spirit. So yeah, I wrote that song just with acoustic in mind. But when it came to this EP, I thought I'm going to reimagine it, and the one way that I did that for all the songs really was just to take the guitar out, just to completely strip the song of a guitar, and then layer up other instruments through Ableton or MIDI keyboards and things like that. So I also got down to making some field recordings as well, so recording trains going past and the wind and the rain and things. So it was really nice to get that into the song because yeah, very different creating dynamic and texture with a guitar to creating dynamic and texture with field recordings or other instruments. So it's been a really fun experience.
So, what other instruments do you play apart from the guitar?
So guitar's my main instrument. I sing, I play keyboard, I'm learning mandolin,
And your
anything I can hit.
and your voice also. That's a musical instrument. So, can you tell me a bit more about Afterglow?
So Afterglow is the one song on this EP recast that is an original. It's not reimagined, it's not a remix. Um, and I wanted to recreate the buzz you get. I don't know if you can relate to this. You've just left a gig, you're walking out into the air and you've got this sort of like buzz happening, and it's an audible buzz for me anyway. And I wanted to sort of recreate that in a song. That was the original inspiration. Um, yeah, and it took off from there. Once I got onto the computer and got Ableton open, it was really nice to be able to chop things up and move things around on the screen, and it being so visible as well has been really good. But I hope I've captured that after buzz of a gig in the song. That
So,
was the aim.
how did you come up with your EP name, Recast?
So the the project Recast has really been about reimagining, remixing, being more production led, which has really fed into that DIY culture. I'm not a producer, but like going at it, just looking at YouTube videos and stuff. So the name Recast came basically because historically I've been an acoustic singer-songwriter, working mainly collaborating with other musicians or in bands and things like that. So I've taken existing tracks and reimagined them, either remixing them or just reimagining the sound behind them. So the recast is really just me sort of recasting myself into, a different kind of artist, not just solely acoustic folk sort of songs. Wanted to expand my creative processes a little bit. Um, so that's where the name came from.
So, you just now released an EP. So, are you working on any new music in the near future?
I am. I'm always working on music. So I'm at university just now and I'm just finishing off my last unit. So for that, I'm actually going to do another remix of another song that I have. So I'll need to get into the books and see what song's suitable. But yeah, so I'm doing more remixing at the minute. Um, I've written another couple of new songs. So, and I'm collaborating with my friend Jenny, down in Lancaster. So we're going to hopefully do some stuff soon as well. So yeah, also working on a rock opera, which is exciting. There's a girl, Miriam, who's over from Alaska at the minute, studying in Glasgow, and she really wants to make an opera, fuse it with rock music. So I'm involved in that. Um, yeah, so it'll continue. I love releasing music. I've decided that.
So, what's it like to be a independent artist that you are for
Mm.
you?
It's difficult, but worth it. I was thinking about this just last week, actually. Like the amount of roles you need to take on to get an EP out there is unbelievable. I've had to write music, perform the music, record myself doing things, and then become some sort of a producer, mixing that, mastering it. But also it's about social media is so important these days, and and getting yourself out there as well. So you become a marketer and promoter and, emails off to folk and what have you. It's time consuming. I'd say that, but it's worth it because in the future, I'm really hoping to be, getting myself a manager, getting someone to take a little bit of that load off, but it's worth doing it to understand it. So when I do pass that on to someone, I'm understanding what I'm passing on as well.
So have you got any gigs coming up or any in the future?
Got a gig local just down in Uddingston on the 5th, Friday the 5th, just at the cricket club. Other than that, not really. A lot of our gigs have just come to an end, but for next year, I'm going to definitely get myself out into um the what's the word? Event outside. Um, sorry, Ruben, the words escaped me. You know, like
It's the world.
into the world, yeah, and just get myself out there on stage, definitely. Especially as a solo artist. It's quite daunting being on the stage on your own and having to fill that space, but yeah, hoping to get more gigs. At the moment, where my career's at is probably at the minute just looking at local gigs, um, pubs and what have you. I had the pleasure of working at a festival, that's the word I was looking for. So I had the pleasure of working at a wee local festival in Uddingston, the Maylight Festival. And that was really about getting local artists introduced to the local community. So they picked like 5 or 6 pubs in the area and they put on shows in each one. So that was really fun. Um, yeah, I'm just taking it as it comes. Not really I wouldn't say I'm pushing so hard to like get out there, but I'm enjoying taking it at my pace.
It's getting your word out there as a solo artist, isn't it?
Yeah,
As long as you enjoy it, that's the main thing.
absolutely. Loving every minute.
So, can you tell me, and the listeners, where can I find you on your social media?
So on all socials, I am Emmi Roselle Music. Sometimes there's dots between the words, so I think on Instagram it's emmy.roselle.music, and on YouTube it's that as well. But if you search Emmi Roselle Music, I'll come up. And I think that's the same for my SoundCloud. And actually, the Recast EP is available on SoundCloud at the minute. So if you want to hear it before it's out on Spotify and what have you, it's out there just now on SoundCloud.
Thank me to chat to you again today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, Ruben.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.